sound isn't on right now.
Oh, the sound wasn't on.
The mic was muted.
The mic was muted. Okay. What's going on, guys? Jeff Kiesel, Keysol Guitars. We're going to do this all over again. As I was just touting my guys how pro they were and professional, and we had a muted mic. So anyway, still an awesome set. I get to come into once a week. The set's going to be kind of set up for me. This is an area of the shop that we turned into a really cool little studio setting. And so I got some neat things today. I'm going to show off something old, something new, and then deal of the hour. Do we have audio?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay, because I hear whispering over there. And
I was just teasing Zach about it because he set it up.
Got it. I was just making sure that this wasn't like my third go at what we got going on. So I'm going to kick off deal of the hour. And the reason why we call it deal of the hour is the deal is only good for the hour that we're live, meaning you have to call my guys to take advantage of this pricing. So this is not going to be the typical deal of the hour that's like $1,300, which is kind of where we've been trying to be at, because, I mean, look at it. It's a master grade quilted maple top. This is a Leia. Beautiful black Limba body, black Limba 5-piece neck. EVO frets, looks like jumbos. Yep, jumbos. 14-inch radius is what I'm guessing it has. It's what it looks like. And just a gorgeous guitar. I'm going to let this one go shipped for $2,300. So again, it's not the typical $1,300, but we're also talking about a top that is on its own, you know, close to $1,200. So a pretty amazing deal. I don't know what this one will go for when we finally add it to the in-stock if someone doesn't take advantage of it today. I'm guessing close to $3,000. So just an awesome looking instrument. Let me see what other specs it has so I can read them off. So it's got the 5-piece Limba maple neck, EVO jumbo frets, black ebony fretboard, the mother of pearl centered dot inlays, a black logo, black pickup pole pieces, satin finish, Limba body, and a master grade quilted top with the satin CS finish on the whole entire instrument, including the back of the neck. And, you know, the satin is nice on Limba. You know, Limba is very similar to Mahogany as far as feel. It's not quite as dense as like a walnut or a maple. So some guys prefer to have a satin actually in place of a tongue oil. But just a gorgeous guitar. Big, wide pocket, master grade quilt, and a natural finish. Just something to really cap off your Keysol collection, or really rad first time purchase. So that is the deal of the hour, $2,300 shipped with a case. And I'm going to show off something old. So this is Gliok, and actually not that heavy, to be honest. I don't remember what the weight was. If I had to guess, I'm going to say right around 12.5 pounds. This is something I handmade. I did this for a NAMM show some years back. I don't remember what year it was, but it's got a 1-piece Buckeye Burl top that's about a little over a 1/2 inch thick. And it was fun making this. So 6-string with the Floyd on the bottom, multi-scale 7 on the top, and just something that you could actually use, you could actually play. Cool thing with the switching is you have your toggle between top guitar, both guitars, or bottom guitar. So you could actually leave both guitars on or just have the bottom guitar, whatever you want to do on that. So just a really cool setup. And the guys brought it in, thought it'd be neat for me to show this off. It's got something that we don't offer, which is the black and gold hardware. So black bridges with gold saddles, black tuners with gold caps. Something that makes this really special as well is they're matching fretboards with the sapwood turned inside to the inside, so they're facing each other, headstocks opposing. Just trying to think of like little nerdy details to send this over the top. This is a build, I think, from about 2016, I'm going to guess. I don't remember exactly. Is there 16 or 17? So anyhow, that's something old. And the guys brought that in. I was surprised to see that in here. definitely pleasantly surprised, but still surprised. And then this is my Hyperdrive. So something new. A Hyperdrive is our newest model. These are available in 6 and 7 string, both standard and multi-scale. Either fixed bridge or trem in the standard scale, 25.5-inch scale length. This is a saber green finish, and it has a master grade quilt top. It's got the green binding, and you're probably wondering, like, wait a minute, it's gloss on the top. What's going on the bevel? So the beveled area and the sides and then the rear are all done in satin, which is something you guys can get on your own instrument. So if you want a dual finish, we do that. There is a charge because there's a lot of extra labor that goes in. I believe the charge is $250 to get that. And you definitely want, in my opinion, gloss on the top and satin on the body, sides, and back. And the reason for my logic for that is what's going to get the most wear? The top of the guitar, right? So you want the ability to be able to clean it, and you can clean a gloss finish very easy by using wax. You can polish it out, buff it out, get some picking scratches, no problem. You can take care of that. The other thing too is satin feels really good against your body. So it makes a lot of sense to me to have satin on the back, gloss on the top. It's something that I started doing on my personal builds every once in a while. Not every single build that I did for myself, but back in 2015 is when I started doing that with a Vader that I had built for myself. So anyhow, it's got a Coco Bolo, master grade Coco Bolo, which is a form of rosewood, fretboard, and matching head plate. The head plate's done in a raw tone finish, just to seal the logo. Of course, the fretboard and back of the neck are done in a tung oil finish. And you can see that's black Limba with a orange streaked black Limba body and special Coco Bolo back plates. So this is my Hyperdrive. And a lot of people still are asking, what's that extra plate for? I don't see controls there. It's a good question. That plate it houses a counterweight. So there's a stainless steel 1.3 pound counterweight back here that when you're holding the guitar, helps keep the guitar balanced. It doesn't want to neck dive. You can see I'm not holding the guitar and it's not neck diving. Traditionally, a guitar like this is going to just want to bomb right down because it doesn't have enough weight over here. So by adding this little access panel, we have a 1.3 pound weight in there, and it helps balance out the Hyperdrive. So it's something you can remove. If you just took the 3 screws out, slide the weight out, put the 3 screws back in on the plate, you could have a lighter weight guitar, or you could have a guitar that balances better and it's still in a lightweight, small, compact package. So jumbo stainless frets, the abalone inlays, the silver drop shadow logo. It's just got the lithium pickups in there, still my favorite pickups. I mean, we make some great stuff besides the lithium as well. A lot of guys are really digging the Illusionist bridge pickup. That's Lee McKinney's signature bridge pickup. Sounds amazing. But I still prefer the articulation of the lithium. We also have the thorium, which is pissed off and super aggressive. And then we can go even more tamed with the beryllium, both in neck and bridge positions. And then if you want active, we have our polarities that have dual modes and a very cool setup that our Andy James and our Mark Akubo players use. So anyway, that's my Hyperdrive, and no truss rod cover. That's something you can request. We don't always do it, just to be completely transparent. So, and the reason why is, even if you request it, sometimes it's hard to see that on the order, the little tag to build. And when 97% of the guitars coming through here are getting a truss rod cover, sometimes it's just the autopilot and they get a cover. So anyhow, that's that. And why don't we open it up for some questions? Because we really didn't get through that many questions last week because we were doing so much with those rainbow sparkles. And I think there's still one left, guys. Is there still that Zeus multi-scale 7?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's a rainbow left. Last week we did a rainbow announcement for the rainbow sparkle. It's not an option that you can order on a custom guitar, but we came through and we put 20 builds in, and all but one are sold. So if you want a rainbow metal flake, you can even check out the Keysol Instagram. There's a video the guys posted today with some cool backing tracks that really show off the Rainbow Sparkle. So if you want it, call my guys.
Wayne King is asking, I'm in the market for my first baritone and my first Keysol.
Nice.
Will I be happy combining the two?
I think so. And first of all, thanks for the interest. You know, I've been told by so many players that are both Keysol artists, they're customers, and they're people that don't necessarily play Keysol or own them, that our extended scale guitars are super comfortable. So much so that a lot of guys are like, are you sure this is extended? Even some really great players, you know, that you would think that they would be able to pick it up and go, oh yeah, this is definitely an extended. Well, having a 27-inch scale 7, when everything is located properly, and by properly I mean when it sits in your lap. Sometimes, you know, a guitar manufacturer could really push everything really far out and it still sits in your lap nice, but if you're reaching further, it can be uncomfortable. I think that's where we really shine, is ergonomics. We hear ergonomics all the time, and just because a guitar has some neat looking features doesn't really mean it's ergonomic. Ergonomic is when you sit with it, it feels right, it feels comfortable. You can play it for a long period of time without fatigue. And I think that's where we really shine. So yeah, I think you would be happy. And if not, most of our guitars have a trial period, so buy something in the in-stock section or a custom order that has the ability to return it. You know, that's what I recommend any first-time buyer. Don't buy something that's got all the crazy bells and whistles and fancy that, you know, you won't have a 10-day trial period. Buy something you can return, and if you don't love it, return it, man. We'll give you your money back.
Mike is asking, can I get an Aries 7-string with a GT headstock? It's not available on the online builder.
You can, absolutely. I believe it does make the guitar non-returnable depending on the options. And I think that's why it's not on the online builder.
Joe Bones is asking, do you guys make or have those Carvin M22s anymore?
I don't know if we have any more. You could call the guys. Is that a soda, Jesse?
No.
What is it?
It's like a, kind of like a juice thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jesse's doing no soda, so I thought I was busting him like live here. Like, dude, what
That's
are you
like
doing?
Extremely lightly carbonated, like barely any at all.
Okay. All right. Just looking out for you.
My hero.
All right, Tyler is asking, when things get safer, who would you guys like to have come do a clinic at the Keysol factory?
Oh man, so many of our guys. You know, I would probably say Andy James because he hasn't done one yet. And I think that would be really cool. You know, all of our guys are amazing and it's great to hang out with them and watch them. And but I think Andy, I'm going to be a little selfish there too because I want him to come hang out with us and stay with us for a little bit. So it's not that I don't want to see all the other guys I do. I miss the guys. It's pretty crazy. You know, when the guys would be on tour and they would roll through or we'd go see them at shows, and it's just so good to connect and hang out with them and have that FaceTime. And I miss that. That's probably what I miss. Not probably. That's what I miss the most is the FaceTime with people, friends, artists, family, people we race with. It's probably what I'm having the hardest time with is that. I'm at home anyway, and I'm like totally cool being home and not doing anything. But you know, every other week I want to go out and do something. You know, maybe one day, and the rest of the time I want to be a hermit. So I'm cool. Like 13 out of 14 days, I'm totally fine. But that 14th day, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Scotty Evans, will you ever offer binding on necks?
You know, Scotty, the reason why we don't offer binding is this. I think it's more important for us as a custom shop and really focusing on playability and allowing you guys to pick your fretboard radius, your fret wire size, and neck thickness. You know, all those things would pretty much have to go away if we did neck binding. And the reason why I say that is all the fret wire has to be cut exact dimensions. So each piece of fret wire has to be cut exactly the same size. And if you have different radiuses, well, now you multiply that fret wire into all those radiuses. And they have different types of fret wire, and you multiply that, and it just makes it logistically impossible for us to do what we do and have neck binding. So I'd rather give you guys the playability rather than the aesthetic of neck binding. I hope that makes sense.
William is asking, would you allow Santa Claus to be a Keysol distributor / dealer?
Dang. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he's going to pay. So I guess that would be the biggest thing. No, actually, we've, in all seriousness, I've had some pretty big offers at, NAMM typically, and I've had offers as high as $2 million guaranteed contracts per year, and I've turned them down. Because for us, it's not about the money. It's not about selling as many guitars as we can. It's about offering high value worldwide and working directly with you guys. So, it's not the easy button, and just hit it and go, let's just do dealers. Because that would be easier, right? The dealers are responsible for promoting the product in their area, and you guys would all pay more. You guys would lose, is the bottom line. And I don't want that. My grandfather didn't want that. He started this company, and originally he had dealers and said, you know what? No, this isn't the way to go. Tried it for about 3-4 years. And after about year 4, he said, I want to go direct. And smart man. And here we are direct, doing what he wanted to do, guitars and pickups. Here we are. That's all we do now.
Bastion, Osiris with the neck through option ever going to be available in the future like the Ares recently got?
So the Osiris does have a neck through option. It's called a Vader. So yeah, you already have that option. Slightly different shape, but it's basically the same guitar.
Mike is asking, can you match the finish of another company's guitar?
It depends. I mean, there's sometimes we just say no, we won't do it. It's a slippery slope because, other companies have copied our finishes, and, it's a bummer, you see that. And I guess as a one-off, that's one thing, where you have a customer. But, when companies flood their advertising with guitars that try to look like what you've thought of or created, and I mean, I guess it's flattering at one hand, but it's still, it can be frustrating on the other. So it depends. Just call the guys.
Jim Dot, Jeff, are you going to offer a lap steel for your 75th anniversary next year?
What's up, Jim? As cool as that would be, not in the works. I think that'd be really neat, but yeah, and it's crazy. Our 75th is next year. It's nuts. It's like, where did the time go? It's like this whole year, we had all these, different ideas about different things we wanted to do, and the year just got away from us. It's like the longest and the shortest year all wrapped into one. And what I mean by that is typically, you have events or markers in time for the year that let you know the year happened. For me, one big thing is going to nationals, and that's a racing event, and that didn't happen. So it's like, did this year even happen? Or seeing my family and having a Thanksgiving or even Christmas. It's just weird. We'd have a 4th of July party, almost every year. We've been having at our house Christmas ugly sweater parties. Nothing, I don't get to see Brandon in his ugly sweater.
It's the saddest thing of the year. Amelia is asking, is the showroom open for walk-ins?
That's a good question. The showroom still is not yet open. The only exception is you can call in, ask for Flock, he's our showroom manager, and you can make an appointment to place an order in person. So it's not quite the same as just being able to stroll in, try out a bunch of guitars, no obligation, and leave. I mean, you're making an appointment to place an order in person, and that way someone can show you some different things in person and while you place your order. So that's the only exception, and it's one person at a time, meaning you can't come in with your whole family. Those days have they've sailed. That ship has sailed for a little bit. Hopefully we can get back to a new normal, whatever the hell that is.
Lou Mang is wondering, Jeff, does the Keysol Racing green color look neon in person?
It does not look neon. No. It's a custom green. It's not Kawasaki Racing green. It's not the other guitar company's green. It's a color that we painted my race car in 2007, Keysol Racing green. And we decided to offer it, I think in 2013 maybe. So I had been sporting that color 6 or 7 years prior to the company offering it. And it's like, if you were to look at a Kawasaki Racing green, which is their factory race team for Kawasaki, it's got more yellow in it than the KRG. KRG's got more blue in it. So it's less of a lime green. And it's a custom color. It's not a color that is, okay, it's this color. It's a color that was created for my car, for me. And then it's like, hey, Dad, why don't we offer this on the guitars? I think it'd be cool. And it's our #1 selling color besides black and maybe white. Black and white are pretty hard to beat.
Danielle is asking, how do Polarity pickups work?
So that's a good question. Polarity pickups, they are underwound pickups. And so they're still a passive pickup, but they have a very flat response. And then we use an active preamp to shape the signal path. And what's cool about that is you end up with the passive response that you want. So the string bounce or articulation, but then you have the control of an active. So you kind of get both in one, and that's probably why I still like them. I'm not a big active pickup fan myself because they sound typically thin and compressed, a little gated, and that's not the case with ours.
Hector Nacho, will there be any chance of another sale before the new year when prices go up?
Well, Hector, I think you just nailed it right on the head. The sale is the prices haven't been raised yet. So that is the sale. No, I don't think we're going to be able to do another sale, to be completely honest with you guys. We're backed up. We have over 1,000 in the works. And, I mean, we've broke every record this year. The month isn't over, the year's not over, and we cleared over 8 million in sales this year. It's our all-time record single year by a long shot, actually. Back in the Carvin days, before we split the company, and I was telling the guys this the other day, we would do, between 4.6 and 4.8 million in sales. And that wasn't just guitars. That was parts, that was pickups, that was not in the later days, but in the earlier days, that would be Cobalts. We had these acoustic guitars that were not made by us. We just put our name on them and we set them up. So doing that high 4 million range involved a lot of part sales, actually. So, in some days, $1 million in part sales. So when you look at the company, it was really under a $4 million guitar company. Now we're over an $8 million guitar company. I mean, we've literally doubled what we do in guitar sales. So it's pretty amazing, and it's a short period of time, right? It's just been over 5 years now. So pretty crazy. We're getting ready to start year 6.
Kevin is asking, which wood is tonally closer to mahogany, Koa or black Limba?
Oof, I'm going to go with Koa. Black Limba can actually be kind of bright, but you can get some black Limba that has less dense pockets, and it can sound similar to mahogany, but you don't know what you're going to get, and there's no way to say, hey, I want this. So I would go with Koa if I was placing an order and I wasn't handpicking out the woods.
Ryan Maines.
Ryan Maines, what's up, dude?
He's asking, does Jeff have satin sheets in his bed?
Satin sheets? No, I'm a cotton kind of guy, actually. I don't know, I like the fabric-y feel. I want to give Ryan Maines a shout out. He has a company called Forbidden Engravings. Ryan does a tremendous job. He can do a lot of custom stuff for you guys. And what Ryan really excels in is doing backplates, truss rod covers, for all things Keysol, and I'm sure he can do other brands too, but I've seen Ryan do some amazing pick guards even for our Delos, and done some backplates, some really cool ones even for me personally. And give Ryan a look, check him out, check out what he's got going on. it would be really cool to be able to customize your Keysol even further. And, you know, one of these days, me and Ryan will probably do something together. We've talked about it, and it's always chaotic for me. So one of these days.
Eric is asking, will you guys work on carving guitars?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are carving guitars. You know, that's, you know, Keysol Guitars was formed so me and my dad could leave Carvin Corporation, right? So we left. We took the Carvin Guitars brand under the Keysol Guitars new name, you know, back to our original name. So Keysol Guitars owns Carvin Guitars is the best way of thinking about it. We took all the machinery, the staff, the inventory, the designs, because they were my dad's, you know. My dad ran this custom shop since 1970. So, yes, we are Carvin Guitars. A lot of history there. And people will ask me still to this day, like I'll meet someone and they're like, what do you do for work? I say, oh, there's a company called Keysol Guitars. They're like, I haven't heard of that. Have you ever heard of Carvin? They're like, well, yeah. Well, that's us. And, you know, so I got to tell that story. So, you know, still, we're still, I guess, you know, getting out there. The name for our guitar company is still getting out there.
Justin Lund. In the intro, the guy painting a crackle finish painted it black, and then the colors from the crackle came through. That was wild. How does it do that?
It's magic. Can't tell you. But thank you. I didn't know that was the video they played, but I know that video. I don't know if it's the one I shot or they shot, but
You shot.
Did I shoot it? Yeah. That was a cool one.
Pedro is asking, would you guys ever do a Relic style guitar?
You know, that's not something I'm into, to be honest. You know, it's Relic guitars are all about kind of abusing the finish before, you know, selling it to you. And I think that's your job.
Cody Celine. I'm torn between a Hyperdrive 7 or a Type X7 in grape jelly. Which one should I get?
That's a hard one, man. I mean, both are such cool guitars, really. I would say if you already have, you know, some of our headless guitars, go with the Hyperdrive. If you don't have any of our headless guitars, go with the Type X. I think that would be my deciding factor because I think everybody should have at least one headless. Even though I prefer headstocks. I mean, honestly, I do. And Jesse, you don't have a headless, do you?
Mm-mm.
Brandon, you have you play your Zeus actually a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you show off the deal of the day again?
Yeah, absolutely. So here she is. Beautiful master grade quilted top. And what makes this master grade quilt is you could just see how big the pocketing is on there. And I mean, honestly, you look at this thing in person, I'm sure it looks decent on camera, but you get this thing in person and it's absolutely stunning. 2,300 with a case shipped. And that's only while we're live. You know, once the live ends, it's going to go probably on the in-stock section. And it's, I don't know what it's going to sell for, but it does have a master grade top. And, you know, you're looking at quilt is 400 and master grade on top of that, I think is 700. So I think I said 1,200 earlier. It's an $1,100 top. So you add 1,100 to the base price plus the options. And you start getting up there.
Jesse Smith, when do you guys know when the next Pick Your Top will be?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe April, March? I don't know. Yeah, no time soon.
What got you into building guitars?
Well, I was born into this business. You know, Grandpa started it, and my dad was running it in 1970. You know, on. I was born in '79. And, you know, I wanted to make money, you know, like most people, but I started doing that at a young age. You know, at 8, I wanted to, you know, have my dad bring home work. So he's bringing home work and I got paid by the piece. And I was first just stripping pickup wires and they're 4 conductors. So, you know, there's several steps involved. And then building electronics at home, you know, soldering them, and I got paid per piece, so I learned at a young age to hustle, be efficient, and you know, save my money. And really, at first, it was just I wanted to be able to put money in my account and get a new skateboard or a bike or whatever. And then it like turned into, wow, this is a lot of fun. I really like this. And just down the rabbit hole, here we are. I didn't think, fast forward to now that this is the situation, because I was one of the youngest in a family business, and I just figured that one of my older cousins would, be running the business at some point, and it was probably clear for most people by the time I guess I was 20 or 21, and had pretty good success with doing what I was doing, doubling sales and going in and cleaning areas up and taking over different areas of the company. And I think by then I was kind of like, oh, well, maybe it'll be me one day. And, even my uncle announced at my grandparents' anniversary that I was going to run our company someday. And so here we are. That didn't end up working out. We ended up splitting and going off on our own. And, I'm partners with my dad and couldn't be happier. I have my son here. My daughter is here some of the time. She's getting back into working here. Both my son and my daughter are taking full college class, full schedules. So Zach has always been really good at school, and it's come really easy for him. And I think that's why he's able to, put more hours in, where Kayla, school is not as easy for her. School wasn't very easy for me. I guess it was easy because I didn't try hard, but so I think she's putting a little more effort, and she's distracted. She's got a boyfriend that she's living with now for they've been together for 4 or 5 months, which seems like 4 or 5 years during COVID. So she's a little distracted, and just getting on her own. So, but we'll get them both here. I hope that's the plan, full time, and take this thing over from me at some point. Take this over from me and my dad. So that would be the goal, and hopefully that happens. And if that doesn't happen, then probably just go away someday.
Logan Abbott is wondering, will you guys ever offer another headless that can have a 27-inch scale?
No, I don't think so. I don't get a lot of requests for that, to be completely honest. That's the first 27-inch scale headless I've had in a long time request.
Stay Metal Ray is asking, Jeff, what is your favorite build specs?
What's up, Ray? Favorite build specs. I struggle with that one, man, because it's a blessing and a curse, but I have to have everything very cohesive and flow together. What I mean by that is, depending on what look I'm going for, my build specs totally change. Right off the bat, I love mahogany bodies, and I really like, 7-piece necks, whether it's walnut or the maple necks that we offer, and flame tops or quilt tops. I can do so much with those, so many things like this right here. I can't do that with like a Buckeye top. So even though I like Buckeye, I think Buckeye is really cool, but there's so much more versatility I get in the custom shop to get a cool look, and I can't do that with any other woods other than, like the maples, flame quilt, burl, not quite as much, but flame and quilt. So that's probably my go-to. And even if I don't do a 7-piece neck, just a walnut neck, I decided to go Limba on this to give Limba kind of another shot. I had a Vader that I did for myself that was a really cool guitar, but I ended up actually selling it because it was a white Limba neck, and I didn't like the way it felt. It was very porous feeling, where black Limba is more tight, and we picked out a piece that is a little tighter. So I'm going to give this another go and see if I can connect with the black Limba. What's your favorite build specs, Mr. Stay Metal Ray? If you guys aren't following Ray, make sure you check out his channel. It's got some cool stuff, does a lot of reviews. Once in a while you see a Keysol on there. And always got a great attitude, always rocking out with a smile. And I know he gets some comments like, dude, would you quit smiling? You're pissing me off. It's pretty funny how people can be.
Nick Wood is asking, would the Keysol staff prefer boxes of donuts or cupcakes for a sweet treat?
Ooh, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about them, but dude, some funfetti cupcakes. Dude, I don't know, dude. I will knock people over to get to those. For donuts, like, I mean, I'll eat them, but man, some funfetti cupcakes. What about you, Jess?
I'd probably go with cupcakes too.
Yeah?
I love funfetti.
Dude.
So good.
Brandon?
I'm a donuts guy.
Donuts, okay. Zach?
I feel like the office would want donuts, but donuts.
All right, Savannah, you're the tiebreaker here.
I can't eat any. They're not vegan.
Oh shit, that's right. Savannah is vegan. So if anybody does send in anything, make sure you have a vegan option.
Make sure you send 4 Oreo donuts for Brandon.
I'll eat them all.
I've seen Brandon eat some donuts, dude. And Brandon's like 150 pounds soaking wet. And I'm like, where are you putting all those donuts? But the moment we go out for like some real food, like Korean barbecue, all you can eat, Brandon's tapping out. And I'm like, dude, let's go, man. Come on. Let's do this.
Stuff's too heavy.
That's like my weakness is Korean barbecue. And that's one of the things I'm probably going to miss the most because that shit's probably going to be gone forever. I don't see a place like that making it through this and people wanting to go to a place where you cook your own food yourself at a table with a bunch of people. What do you guys think? That's Savannah's favorite.
Yep.
Dakota Reed, what is your ride that you race?
So I have it originally started out as a 1958 bug-eyed Sprite. And if you look that car up, you're like, damn, that thing is ugly. They're pretty ugly. But then if you look up my car, so you look up Jeff Kiesel Sprite, or check out my Instagram and look at one of my posts on there. I think the car is really cool looking. So it's got a custom carbon fiber front end and back half. So the front half and the back half of the car are carbon fiber. The center is still the original steel. And people are still like, what's an Austin? You guys have seen the Bourne movies, the Jason Bourne movies. Well, in one of them, I don't remember which one, he races a Mini Cooper down like some stairs and like through Paris and stuff. It's like a crazy chase scene. That's an Austin, right? Well, I have an Austin bug-eyed Sprite, not a Mini Cooper. So a Mini Cooper is a front-wheel drive, kind of like economy car, I guess. Still kind of sporty, where it's 4-seater. Where my car is a 2-seater. So it's a roadster, kind of a roadster version, rear-wheel drive, and it's got a turbo rotary in it. It's making right around 400 horsepower to the wheels. Car weighs 1,700 pounds with me in it. And it is such an amazing car, it actually drives itself. It's so easy to drive. Right, Zach?
Yeah.
Everybody seems to think the car is so easy to drive until they hop behind the wheel and they're like, holy shit. Yeah, man, like you gotta work. It's not as
You may
easy
think
as
that's hard, but hop in my car and give it a try.
that's easier to go faster in your car than mine. Oh yeah.
Let's have a race.
Well, we could do it like me and you will race your car, and then me and you will race my car and see who's closer.
Okay.
Sounds like a good live stream.
No, and in all seriousness, so you look at my car, and what makes it hard is it's a short wheelbase, and it's got a lot of power, and it's heavy. It's light, but it's heavy for what it is. So you have to be on point on brakes. You have to be on point on the gas pedal. Where Zach's car is lightweight, and what makes it hard is it doesn't have very much power. So you have to really have a lot of corner entry speed, and you have to have the ability to catch the car. And that's what makes his car hard to drive. It's more of how big are your balls and how quick are your hand movements, where I guess my car is more how refined is your right foot and your ability to throttle steer the car. And that's not something that you learn real easy. You learn by a lot of bad, spins, really, probably. So both are hard. They're just hard in a different way.
All right, we got another question from Ray. He's asking, what does 2021 look like for Keysol, world permitting, best case scenario?
Dude, I think we're going to kick 2021 in the dick. I think that's where we're at. I told the guys that the other day. I was like, man, 2021 is going to be awesome for us. I really think so. Just a lot of the improvements we've made here, and one huge improvement that we've made is customer service. I really think that we needed to look at customer service, and I think our customer service department is probably the biggest improved thing for Keysol in 2020. And I look forward to 2021, and just building the best damn guitars and standing behind them and making sure people are happy and just really connecting, and doing as many of these lives as we can. And, we've done these lives for forever now, and find out new ways to connect with you guys. I think that's our goal. That's our mission. And, we got a great crew here doing our medias. We've got a really, really great team, and we're starting to see some better media come out of the company. Like Jesse's doing a phenomenal job taking pictures of guitars and posting those up on, Instagram and Facebook. And, the guys are coming up, all of them using different Photoshop techniques and coming up with some really cool things, some very unique things and some basic stuff that we should have been doing all along. And I think that's been great.
Curtis, hi. Would you ever do a mashup with any of your other favorite friendly brands? Maybe a Keysol Dingwall multi-scale bass mashup?
I don't think so. I couldn't see working with someone else on something like that. I mean, there is such thing as, too many cooks in the kitchen. And I think, I work best kind of really by myself when we're doing a design, with the exception of some feedback I get from the guys. Maybe it's not something that's quite my forte, and I'll bounce some things off the guys here, even some of our artists, or I'm working on an artist model. And then I really want their input because it's for them. So aside from those, areas, my favorite thing to do is put my headphones in and just do my thing and just go. So I think it'd be hard to work with somebody else, because we're all probably pretty eccentric. We all want things a certain way, especially companies that have been successful, right? So I think that's the hardest thing. And, who's right and who's wrong? When you're working together on a project, it's like, but we do it this way, and then the other person wants to do it that way. It's like, so Sheldon's a great guy, by the way, and he makes some great stuff. But yeah, I've had some people over the years ask us to ghost build for them, or build or design for them, and some of the big boys I've had ask that, and it's just not something I'm interested in. It's like I want my ideas to be my ideas and for us.
Evo Gold or stainless steel frets?
I'd go with stainless jumbos, but gold is cool. And I'll go gold when I need to get that look across. That's when the compromise kind of happens, I guess.
Hector Nacho, I'm so excited. Flock emailed me that my Leia is going to be most likely shipping this week. Is there any way that Jeff can sign it if it's around?
Yeah, hit up Flock and have Flock add it to the tag, and I'll sign it for sure, brother. Absolutely. Love to do that for you. Anytime you guys want me to sign your guitars, ideally at the time you're placing the order, tell the guys that. They'll put it on the order. I know it sounds easy, like, hey, when my guitar rolls through, can you sign it? It's like, I don't even know what my day is going to be like each day. I have days where I'm in my office for 6 or 7 hours out of the day, and I have days where I'm not even in my office. I'm in the back for most of the day and everything in between. So that's why it needs to say it on the tag.
Will you ever offer Vaders with Fishman Fluence pickups?
You know what? You can do that right now. Call my guys. Yeah, I said I would do it for a limited time, and that window's still open. So call my guys.
Chris Andrews, is there any major difference in tone with Ebony versus Royal Ebony? I'm getting things ready in line for a 2021 build.
No, pick what you want. Yeah, go with what you want. I would not put any. I would not put enough tone difference on that to justify one over the other.
It looks like a lot of your models have headless versions or close to them. Any plans for a headless Vanquish?
It's a great question. I get that a few times a month. No plans for it. Would it make a cool headless? I think so, but no plans for that.
Thomas Stevens, what's your favorite Delos build that you've seen?
Oof, favorite Delos build.
Brandon's.
Not Brandon's. Brandon's is cool, but not Brandon's. Not Jesse's. I don't know. I would say, I think my favorite one so far, it was a Poplar. I don't remember exactly what color. It was like an autumn burst, I want to say. And Ryan Maines did a custom pickguard for it. And that's probably one of my favorites so far. The Poplar ones just look absolutely stunning. That's probably one of my favorites.
Is it possible to order the reverse H-string headstock that Dean has on his Aries?
Absolutely. Call the guys.
Greg Schaefer, planning out a K6. Was thinking about a purple Arctic finish on flamed or burled maple with a Northern Lights feeling finish. Any opinions?
Yeah. We can do something sick for you. Obviously there's Arctic, and they're all done a certain way. So there's like purple Arctic, and if we deviate from that, then it's not one of the finishes that I do standard on a K. I can tell you this: Ks are going up 200 next year, and the reason for that is I'm no longer going to charge anything for any of my finishes. So we're kind of building that into the price. So come January 1, Ks do go up 200. So you're going to see a pretty big jump there. Everything's going up, but Ks are going up 200 instead of the normal jump that everything else is going up. So, if you have questions about a custom finish, get with the guys and we can figure it out.
Is there an option to get a one-piece neck and fretboard, or does the neck and fretboard have to be two pieces?
Yeah, with the way we do our construction, they have to be two pieces because we actually put carbon fiber rods underneath the fretboard into the neck and then a two-way truss rod. So it has to be two pieces. And the reason why someone would make a one piece is time. It's a lot cheaper to make that. It's cost effective. And then they'll put the truss rod in through the back, which isn't ideal, to be honest with you, as far as adjustment, because the way a truss rod works is it pushes against the back to, get you a little bit of back bow. And if you have a piece of wood added to the backside, well, you're pushing against a piece of wood that's added. It's not ideal. It's just physics. But back in the day, it was quick, easy, and cheap to make it that way. And nothing wrong with the way it's made. It's just, in my opinion, not as adjustable as what we do now.
Mike Taylor, how many people work at Keysol?
57. 57.
Can I order a Vader with a voice box button that says Darth Vader phrases?
If you sent us the voice box and it fit in there, maybe. I don't know. Call the guys.
Andrew Tran, hey Jeff, this is my first Q&A I've been able to watch since being hospitalized with COVID. Is it possible to have Fishman Fluence in my beryllium-equipped Aries?
Oh shit, man! I hope you're all right, dude. Sounds like you're doing better. Wish you a speedy recovery. Yes, you can have berylliums in your, did you say Aries?
I think he has a beryllium-equipped Aries. He's wondering if Fishman's will fit in it.
Oh, got it. It depends on what Fishman's, and it depends on what configuration. If it's multi-scale, no. If it's not a multi-scale, then they should fit. You might have to clean the route out. Oh, 7-string, they won't. Now that I think about it, because the way we do our 7s, here's a great example. Our 7s have this little rounded area, and the 7-string Fishmans are more of a rectangular area. So you could get them and try to trim down the Fishman so it fits in there in the same route, or you could open up the route a little bit. Probably trying to modify the Fishmans would be the way to go, depending on the level of your skill with the Dremel.
By the sounds of it, there's way more options available than your online builder would suggest. Is this true?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I say call the guys.
Rick is wondering, could you do a treble bleed circuit? If so, would it make the guitar non-returnable?
It depends on how we end up doing it. You'd probably have to send in a capacitor for us. But call the guys.
Would you ever make amps again under the Keysol name?
It would only be under the Keysol name if we did it. We would never use the Carvin name. I mean, I can't say never. I mean, I have no plans to, but I'm not going to say never. But it would be Keysol if we did.
Jeremy Wilfong put in an order for an LM7X with master grade woods 7 weeks ago. Just curious what stage it might be at.
It's done. I don't know, brother. We're running 12 to 16 weeks right now. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I would say the neck should be done at this point. As far as the fretboard, frets, it's probably into neck pocket fitting. So we're going to fit each neck into the pocket of the guitar. And then they go to hand sanding. Then they go to the finish department. Then they go to final assembly. But you're still some time away, I would say. But thank you for the order.
Josh is asking, any plans on adding a new carved top model?
Carved tops aren't a hot mover for us, so I just couldn't see putting the R&D into adding another model that is not a hot mover. I mean, I think that probably makes the most sense.
Eric is asking, hey man, have you guys heard anything about NAMM or any other conventions starting back up?
Well, NAMM is canceled for next year, for sure. I think they were trying to get us to put money down for Summer NAMM, and we were like, no, that's in July. So we're not going to Summer NAMM, even if it is open. We're just not going to go. I don't know what the future for NAMM or a convention like that is. Do we even go? I think a lot of it depends on how rare COVID becomes. Because if COVID's still a thing where it's like, the plague and you're a lot of people are concerned about it, how do you go to a trade show? And trade shows for us, I mean, we're there for you guys. Those of you guys that can get in, we're there for you guys. We're there for artists. We're not there for dealers. We don't sell through dealers. So NAMM is like a fun thing for us. We get to meet and interact with our fan base. It's for, I stand in our booth and meet you guys, And if I can't even meet you guys because, get some crazy virus and die from it potentially, then how do we go? So I don't know. I don't know what the future is for that. I don't know, if they're going to be opening that up. And even if we go for 2022, do we even do NAMM 2022? I don't know. I can tell you we're not doing any trade shows 2021. I can tell you that right now. But 2022 maybe is not an option. Who knows? And does NAMM even have trade shows? Or, does this financially impact them so much that they can't even do shows? I don't know. A lot of what ifs, a lot of moving pieces, I think. I'm getting the 5-minute warning, so let's do speed questions. So in this segment of the live, in no way, shape, or form is your question not valid, is it not important, but I'm going to do quick answers. Meaning I might not give you I will not give you an in-depth answer, but I want to get through as many as possible.
David Tuggle, are there any specific options that are only available at certain price points of builds?
Yes.
Joe Brooks is asking, could you do an Arctic style blue candy with the white sanded edges?
No.
Matthew Bass, getting ready for a new build soon. Any other crazy ideas you want to try?
Always crazy. I'm ready to do it. Call my guys.
James is asking, can I order a DCM 8 with Fishman Fluence pickups?
I think you can, but it has to be without the bevels, if I'm not mistaken.
JC is asking, my girlfriend says I have enough guitars. What to do?
Buy her flowers when you get your next Keysol. Chocolates and flowers, brother. Take charge.
Mark is asking, are left-handed guitars harder to make?
They are. Yeah, and they're harder to work on. But we don't charge extra.
Dominic is asking, I had a work conference call and I just got logged in. Is there any way to show off the deal of the hour again?
Deal of the hour. It's only the deal of 3 minutes. So 2,300 shipped, master grade, quilted maple top, Leia. Gorgeous guitar. But don't worry, if you miss it on the live, it will be added to the in-stock section at full price.
What Keysol guitar is most like the old carbon DC-127T?
The DC-127. And that one is getting chopped. It's not going to be available next year. It is going away. We don't sell enough of them to keep them. Sorry.
Ryan Cohn, have you guys thought about offering guitar cases that match the client's guitar?
That would be expensive. No, I have not.
Any plans to release more Rainbow Sparkle guitars?
No. I mean, maybe next December? I don't know. We have one available still. Call the guys.
Grayson Glenn, will there be any additional 7-string single coil direct mount pickups available in the future?
Single coil? No plans.
Is it possible to add a color to the grain of a raw tone finish?
Yes.
Kevin Hines, do guitar manufacturers prefer formal training over real life experience in a prospective employee?
I prefer no formal training, but basic knowledge of woodworking is actually the best, so we can train you how to do it the right way, the Keysol way, the way we want it done.
Can I order hardware that you don't use or offer on your website?
No. Mm-mm.
Smithy McSmith, what's the best entry-level guitar for my buddy who shreds, and what does it run?
Aries, and I think about $1249. And that's it. That's all the time we have this week. You guys have been amazing. Thank you guys and gals for hanging out. I know you have a lot of people that are doing this kind of thing now because, well, they're forced to. We've been doing this the whole time. And it's because we care and we want to do these things. We have a great time hanging out with you guys, and we appreciate you guys. On that note,